Well, I sure didn't have myself flying XP12 prop aircraft before GTA 6 on my bingo card this year. Did you guys? My goodness me, what are we doing? What are we doing? We are in the AirFoillabs $50 add-on X-Plane 12. Bought it twice, so it's like a $100 add-on because I bought it in X-Plane 11. Full price fee. Actually, it's $20 off. I take that back. $20 off if you owned an X-Plane 11, which I did. So it's an additional $20 upgrade to the X-Plane 12 variant here for X-Plane. And this is supposed to be the best. This is supposed to be the best turboprop simulation we have in X-Plane 12, allegedly. We're going to put that to the test today. Full disclosure, I never flew the 350, but I do have some King Air time, and I do have a ton of PT6 time. And we're going to see what these engines are capable of. Now, these are the big 350 engines, four-bladed, so they're definitely a little bit more powerful than some of the smaller King Air aircraft variants out there. But they all operate the same because they are PT6s. Now, the question is, one peak or two peaks? We shall see. We shall see. But here we go. Let's fire it up. We got the King Air 350. We're sitting on the ramp in Tahoe, and we're headed over to Santa Barbara. SBP. I always confuse San Luis Obispo and Santa Barbara. 4 peaks, 2 peaks each engine. Does it really double peak, AJ? If this airplane double peaks, I will fly it again. If it doesn't double peak, we'll have to see what the rest of the stream has in store for us. But I highly doubt it's going to double peak. But it should, because it's a 350 motor. So anyway, Captain Corn Dog's in the house. VEC adding 350s to the fleet confirmed. We'll see how this one goes, Captain Corn Dog. I've had a few, just a couple of rough tests. There's some things that I like, and there's some things that really bother me, and they're mostly quality of life stuff, which I'll get to in a minute. McAllen's in the house. Good to see you, my man. It's been a long time. Gus Rodriguez, good to see you, buddy. How all is well. Tools in the house. AJ Funari. AJ, hey, did you get that US Airways on the 7.5 livery fixed yet? Because I want to fly that maybe later today. We might do another flight in X-Plane 12 today, because I don't know, guys. After Sim Update 6 made my sim look terrible in Microsoft 2024, there's something about X-Plane 12 that's drawing me in. It's drawing me in. I'm getting sucked in, Chad. I'm getting sucked in. Anyway, so here we are in the AirFoillabs. We've got her parked on the ramp, which is, I got her chalked because this ramp is extremely sloped. Now, let's go ahead and talk about a couple things real quick that's going to bother me throughout this whole stream, and you're going to wonder why I'm doing it. I don't mean to be doing it. The number one outside view, spot view outside shift 2, every time you load into the shift 2 view, it tries to, like, drag you back to the tail. It's weird. So, like, the shift 2 view is kind of broken, and I don't know why it's doing this thing now. Like, the views are broken, so I have to basically use the shift 6 view and then use my arrow keys. I don't know why every time you go to shift 2 it drags you back to the tail. The King Air, this airplane has its own camera system, which I think is a terrible idea, because X-Plane 12 cameras are fantastic, and they've went and just, reinvented the wheel. Now I'm going to go ahead and get my my control lock off there. That's what that rumbling sound is. So, couple other things here. So what I do really like about this King Air is we're going to go around, we're going to do a little pre-flight. However, you can't just bind a key to walk outside. So it's like, it's kind of a monkey hunky-dory thing. You got to go camera, we got to go over here, and we got to find our way out, and then we have to, like, click something, imagining, and then we can move our walk commands. And now we can walk outside and actually do a pseudo pre-flight. So that's what we're going to do. It's a good attempt. I think this is the only airplane at X-Plane 12 that has a walk-around mode, right? So, and we'll be able to fuel our own aircraft, which we're definitely going to need to do. And we'll get the plugs off and everything. But it's kind of, I don't know, it just feels kind of gimmicky, because I can't really, you have to walk left or right, and then, I don't know. But I think if you got used to it, you would enjoy it, or if you only flew this sim, you would enjoy it. I just wish there was a binding that you could just hop outside, like in Microsoft, we just hit Shift C and walk around. This, you have to, like, slew to the back, click on the door handle, then you can come outside. So it kind of makes it a pain to get in and out. So we're gonna do a pre-flight walk around here. We're gonna pull all the plugs off and close up the hatches, and then we're actually gonna load up the airplane with gas ourselves, which is kind of fun. This is something I remember when this happened, when this airplane first released for X-Plane 11. I loved being able to fill up the King Air with our own fuel truck. So that's what we're gonna do today. Let's go ahead and get into it, shall we? So. I'm going to start at the nose of the aircraft here, and we see we got the no push here. Oop, I pulled the plug on the backside. We'll go ahead and get the pitot covers off there, inspect the taxi light, landing light. Those all look good. And we'll come over here. We'll pull the bra strap off of the PT6. It will start with those installed, by the way. You just get very, very hot. All right, ask me how I know. Let's come up here. Looks like I checked the oil somehow. I didn't mean to do that. We'll have to go around the other step. But this all looks good here. Let's come down this. Can I open this hatch? Make sure everything looks good. Smash on the igniter box. All right, let's go ahead and close this. Now, my question is, okay, they automatically latch. I was going to say, if you forget to latch them, see, like now I'm stuck. Got to move the propeller out of my way. I can't get out of here. I'm stuck. See what I mean about kind of gimmicky? Let me out of here. Got to lose some weight. There we go. All right. But it's a good attempt. It's a good attempt. This just gets me super excited for the Black Square King Air and Microsoft, because imagine having this with the ease of the walk-around mode in Microsoft. Now, what would be cool, I can't quite read that, so we'll hope that we have enough oil. All right, but that oil checks. Now we're going to come over here. And let's see. We have our gas. Hold on. Wait a second. How do I get... There we go. All right. Let's see. Let's go ahead and start filling this sucker up. Unit price is $1.70 a gallon. No, someone look up gas in Tahoe. It's got to be like 4. Earth to V1 Hot Start Challenger walk around exists. Yeah, Hot Start Challenger is the most mid-airplane ever, dude. I don't want to fly a Challenger. It's a CRJ 200 with glass panels. All right, we're going to pretend it's 430. And gallons to full tank, 188 total gallons. All right, let's go ahead and start fueling. It's $7.99 in Tahoe. Are you serious? Oh, well, we already started fueling. We're getting a discounted rate. We're getting a discounted rate. All right, so we'll put 100 gallons in the left tank. How much do we need today? We got it in pounds. We're going to do a conversion. So ramp fuel today, we need 2,000. So we got 100, 246. Okay, so that's good. Then we'll get another 100 gallons on the left side. Okay, so that is good. So really, 461 is actually double that. It's going to be about $800 on that tank. So we'll go ahead and put the cap back on you. All right. Undo the little static wick. That's kind of cool there. That's attention to detail. Now I got to figure out how to walk down this thing. Good. Now we'll pull the tie down off. Let's continue walking around. All right. Yeah, this is a jet. Oh, it does say avgas. That's a problem. We just filled it with avgas. That's all right. It can run on it. It can run on it, but we got to do a maintenance item with it, right? All right, let's close up the wing lockers. Excellent, excellent. All right, let's walk over behind the aircraft here. We'll get this tie down off. Is it shift C to crouch? I forget what my crouch binding is. I'll come around the tail here. There we go, we got that. Alright, everything looks good out here on this side. Let's go behind the aircraft. X-Plane doesn't simulate fuel types. Alright, we can check the wing locker here, make sure it's empty. Funny thing is, we were not permitted, when I flew the 99s, they said no cargo in the wing lockers because guys always had issues latching them and they would always come open in flight. So then they eventually said, stop putting stuff in the wing lockers. Because we are not responsible in closing them. Alright, so we'll come around here. I'll magician my way around. And we'll pull this off here. Good. You can see our ground power is plugged in. Excellent. Let's go ahead and we got to get some gas in this wing here. So we'll come up top. We'll get the fuel cap off. Alright, so... Oh, did this fill right main tank? How much fuel do we have now? Did the other one say left main? Oh, this is total gallons. Okay. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to continue fueling this tank. I see. It's just same bill. Same bill. Same credit card bill. All right. I was expecting these numbers to be zeroed out. That's all right. That wouldn't make sense because it's all going to be on the same credit card. We're going to charge it Chris PT6. I think I overfilled that one. I didn't mean to click that. All right. Change the engine and ship to the 100 low lead back to Pratt and one back. Oh. I'm a little late to walk around feature part of the King Air. It's part of the King Air, Chris PT6. It's definitely part of it, man, which is kind of neat, right? And you can fill it up. I forgot to put the static port in on that one. Yeah, it's pretty neat, dude. And look, you can check the oil too. It's part of the AirFoillabs King Air. Come out here, you check your igniter boxes, all that stuff. I gotta check the oil on the other side. Let's see if we can actually check it. Where's the click spot? I turned off hide click spots because they're so awful looking. But okay, there we go. Cool. All right, come around here. You can disable it, which you might want to disable it if you like using the X-Plane camera system, because it messes with your regular camera system, which kind of drives me nuts. All right, I want to stop the blade so I can walk by here. Let's get this engine plug off. Excellent. All right, let's see if we can check the oil. All right. It doesn't really tell me where the oil is, but I'm assuming that means it's full. Okay, cool. We're going to assume the oil is checked. We're latched up. Why do I hear a... Oh, my gosh. For some reason, my phone was going off in the background. It had the same stream up. All right. So now, I'm going to wish my way around the nose here. We're going to take one look at the airplane, make sure we got everything. Something that I was taught early on in my flight training was, hey, when you walk up to the airplane, I know you're excited to do the pre-flight and pull all the covers off, but take a step back and look at the airplane from a distance, because that's where you're really going to catch stuff that you might have missed. Like you might have missed a plug, you might have missed a tie down. Like take a step back and look at it from a distance, right? There you go. All right, so I think that looks good to me. So now I'm just going to hop into the cockpit because I'm not going to walk all the way back around. But we are in the cockpit now, so let's go ahead and hide the yokes. Let's go ahead and set our controls. We are idle, forward, and cutoff on the quadrant there. Looking up top, we have ground power, so let's just go ahead. But we are going to do a cross generator start. I'm going to try that today. We're going to do cross gen start. So let's get the battery switch on. We do have ground power connected, so we get the avionics on. We can actually get the inverters on. Actually, scratch that. External power, there we go. And we'll get the left inverter on if you wanted to. I guess you don't really need to do the inverter check till we start the engines. But avionics is coming up. Aircraft is coming to life. Let's go ahead and get the tail floodlight on, nav lights on. That looks good. Up to the overhead main panel lights. We can turn those on. Some people love the blue. I'm not a huge fan of the blue in the King Air. I like pilot overhead flood. We'll turn you down. Where is my panel flood? Indirect. Let's turn you off. There we go. I kind of like the brown panel. Let's get the pilot flight instruments up here a little bit. Instrument indirect. Nope, that's one we want off. Overhead flood a little bit. Yeah, there we go. But I need my panel. Where's my actual... Turn you up. Avionics. There we go. That looks good. Except I'm missing my lights on those right there. Where are those lights at? Pilot panel. The one right above your head. Duh. There we go. Alright, we'll get the lights up because it's 6 a.m. And let's go ahead and turn our radios on. These radios are all off by default. So we'll get these on. That's our transponder. We'll just put you on standby 1200 for right now. We can turn these radios on. All right, let's come down here. We're going to power up the... Oh, these are actually already powered on. That looks good. I have to toggle that. There we go. Okay, so it's on. Sometimes if you load into the King Air for some reason with the Brunner, if your pitch trim isn't working, if this switch is already up, like if you load in hot, you got to toggle it or else you won't get pitch trim. I hate it in real life, the blue light, but the AirFoillabs is one of the few that build a native model for XP12. Yeah, no, I mean, it's, listen, it's a great rendition. I'm not saying that it's a bad, I'm saying that's a very nice rendition of it. I just personally am not a huge fan. I mean, maybe a little bit dim. I'm more so like if we're going into the night, you know, and it's getting dark, then yeah, I'll turn it up a little bit. There we go. There's a little tinge of blue right there in the background. But yeah, just my personal preference on that. So we are on ground power. Everything looks good over here. Let's take a look at our pressurization. We're going to be going up to 24,000 feet today, I believe. That's what we filed. 2426. We did file... actually, we only filed 17, which is interesting. But, okay, so let's go ahead and set. We're going to go up to 26. So there's 26. And we'll set 1,000 above. So we're going to pressurize right around 6,500 feet. The rate knob is in the 11 o'clock position. That looks good. All right, route menu. Now, I'm curious if this will save your flight plan. So for engine start, because we always turned our avionics off. So I'll tell you what, we'll load the flight plan after engine start, because I've never flew the 350, but in the ones in the 299s, if you had any type of, well, we didn't have FMS in the 99, but normally we'd start with the avionics off because it would dump it. So you wouldn't load it preemptively, because as soon as you shut it off for engine start. And we are going to use a cross generator start today. So we'll get the cabin lights on dim. We'll get the no smoking, fasten seatbelt sign on. Furnace coffee, that's definitely important. We'll turn the furnace and coffee switch on for the passengers in the back. You can see the external power. We are getting 28 volts. Excuse me. There we go. 28 volts of from our external power. That looks good. Now this panel is a little bit different. We used to have like, isn't there one where you have like the 1 gauge and you press the buttons to change the different to see which volt or amp you're getting? But yeah, we've got a fancier voltmeter selector here. I could hold this over on battery too. But okay, so let's go ahead and put in external power for right now. Instrument lights, we'll leave you off for right now. Okay, so we'll squawk 2000. Actually, no, we have a squawk code for 6344. 6344. So let's put 6344 in here. Chris, did you have some steaks last night? Because I did. 6344. We'll put you on altitude. That's fine. Actually, we'll put you on standby since we're in King Air operations today. All right. That all looks good. Now we're going to close up shop outside. So I'm going to go here. We're going to get rid of the fuel truck. We'll close the door and we'll get rid of the stairs. Now I'm going to leave the aircraft chalked. Why do we have a taxi light on? Oh, there we go. Got that on. We'll leave the aircraft chalked, and I'm going to disconnect the external power because I want to do battery and cross generator start for fun. So external power switch is off, avionics power switch is off, battery is on, nav lights on, beacons on. We didn't do our mode of flow checks or anything like that on the fuel panel, but we got plenty of gas. We could take a look over here. 7.7. We're looking good. Let's go ahead and pull you off the airplane. Power's been removed. Park brake is set. And let's go ahead and start them up. So, cross generator start. We're going to start engine 2 first. I'll get the cams up. Your idle forward cutoff. Fuel selectors. Our fuels are off. These are, yeah, there's the standby pumps. Everything looks good. Circuit breakers are all in. And there we go. All right, let's go ahead and start it up. Bleeds, environmental bleeds, all bleeds, everything's off, right? Yeah, it should be all off by default. Okay, cool. Let's go ahead and start engine 2. We'll get it up to max motoring. There's 10. 14. 15 fuel. I don't know why these pens are right here. It blocks my ITT. 50% starter off. ITT's rolling back. Props coming up. And we're stable. So let's go inverter, right generator, reset, and on. Alright, so we've got our lights coming up. Alright, let's take a look at our battery. Everything is good. So right generator. Loads, everything looks good. Alright, so now we're going to do a cross-gen start. I think it was only one peak. I forgot to watch because for some reason they put these two pens right here. Why are these pens right here? Now the default view has you sitting like this, which no, that ain't how we're gonna sit. But I wish I could remove those pens right there. All right, let's watch for two peaks on this one. So we're gonna go to high idle on number 2. And go ahead and turn it on clear prop. Let's watch for the peaks. Wheel. ITT. Watch the peaks, watch the peaks. Plateau at 750. Oh, coming straight back. 50% starter off. ITT's rolled back through 50. Inverter. Generator resetting on. Bring number 2 back down to low idle. Alright, we go avionics. Master switch is coming on. We'll close the window so I can hear myself think. And I was hoping we would take off before the sun came up. That's alright. Alright, everything's coming up. Let's go auto, environmental. Let's go ahead and get the bleeds open right now. That's all good. Window defog. And let's come back here. Let's get, you're all powered up. Pitch trim is up. Rudder boost is on. And flight plan. Here we go. We didn't use ground power, Gus. We didn't use ground power. We did a complete battery start with the cross generator on that one. I'm going to turn the sounds down a little bit. So, again, single peaks. Uh-oh, I actually switched seats. Switched seats on myself there. Let's go ahead and get this quick flight plan loaded up. KTVL to SBP. Departing, we're going to take 36. Edge. No, cancel mod. 36 Richie to Spook. That's what we want. Execute. Alright, after Spook, it's Victor 28 to Linden. After that, Victor 113 to Modesto. And then Victor 111 to Salinas. And then from there, Victor 25 Paso Robles, and then that'll set us up. And we'll execute that. Departure, arrival, SBP. They're landing 29 right now off of Kiki, I think is what we'll load it up from. From Kiki's. Alright, that looks good. Climb 250, 10, 297, 4, trans altitude 18. Cruise altitude, we're going to go 26,000 feet today. Steep descent, that was good, 250, 74 below. That all looks good. Okay, that's all set up. Let's get our current altimeter setting, which is 3034. 3034, we'll set up our EFIS. Now, this is one cool thing that I like, if I got to remember how to do it. It's get the autopilot panel up, and I think it will save your position, right? Can I make it smaller? Yeah. So, I'm going to put you here, and then, where's the other 2D panel? Actually, this is the one I want. Let's clear that one. Let's shrink this one down. We'll put you over here. All right, we'll go course to FMS. Initial altitude, we'll just go ahead and set 26,000 feet. Altitude is armed, everything looks good. We'll get the yaw damp and everything after engine start. We're blasting off 3.6. We'll set our heading bug to 360. All right, 360 is set. We don't need that anymore. We could put the Toga command bars up, which they pretty much are. Let's go ahead and get out of here. Tahoe traffic, Gamma 357, taxi 36. All right, parks brakes released. Let's see, my views are so much. Oh. We have chocks, so we don't fall off the hill, so hold on to the brakes. I will pull the chocks. Taxi to 36. So as we make our taxi out, we got to check our turn coordinator is working. Ball slips opposite of the turn, left and right. That looks good. We got 3004 set. FMS is set. We'll come up here and get down to the run-up pad for 36. Beta transition is super aggressive. That's me just going into beta. I swear back in the day I used to be able to bind the left and right engine into beta, but for some reason I can only bind them at the same time. So we don't ride the brakes, so like... One other thing about the sounds on this airplane, the prop out of sync seems very aggressive. Seems very aggressive. Oh, did I get my X-Haze going? Yeah. Real bumpy here on the taxiway. Yeah, auto haze is working. Cool. Alright, we'll dial in 122.8. Makes you miss Black Square seeing the two engine being copy paste identical values? Yes, that is another thing. Copy paste identical values, yep. A sip of my coffee here. If anything, I can't wait for the King Air sound pack from Black Square.
Tahoe traffic crew track 69, taxi runway 36, we're turbine.
Alright, why does it say pitch trim off? Alright, pitch trim will set for takeoff. Alright, so we could run through all the checks if you so wish. Is there an abbreviated run up? Let's see, before takeoff, a run up. So nose wheel, center park brake sec, autopilot. We're gonna skip the autopilot check just because of the yoke I have. Rudder boost, yaw control truss, it's in the boost position. Trim is takeoff, pitch trim cycle, then on, which we did. Got rid of the pitch trim light, so it is on. Trim tabs are set. Ice protection not required. Engine anti-ice. Engine anti-ice is... talking about the, oh, right here. Engine anti-ice. On. Engine auto ignition. Check. So, auto ignition. Okay. Checked. Power levers idle. They are. Auto ignition switch is armed. Power levers advance above 7. Oh, that's how we're going to do. Power levers advance above 17 torque. There they go, and they extinguish. They extinguish. Then we'll bring them back down to idle. Auto ignition switch is coming off. Windshield anti-ice. Check. We check for the loads. We're not going to deal with any icing today, so we're going to skip the anti-icing tests, all of them. They all are simulated, though. They do work. Prop de-ice check. Actually, did I leave these on? I did. Engine anti-ice. Get those off. Auto. Okay. I want to get over to... page 2, rudder overspeed, rudder boost prop, nope. Okay, let's see if we can get this test done. I know it works, but it's been so long since I've done one. Alright, auto feather check, auto feather switch, hold to test. So will it... Oh, this is, yeah. Hold to test at 22 torque. I gotta cross hand this here, so hold it to test. Alright, set 22% torque. There's the auto feather light. Alright, and individually, one's coming to idle. It feathers, and then you release. Okay, so that's, yeah, it's working properly. You release it, and then I can go test back on, bring you back up. And bring this one to idle. It feathers, and the other auto feather light extinguishes, because you wouldn't... What you're testing there is if one auto feathers, you don't want them both to auto feather. So that's working correctly. Alright, but you're checking left and right. But if one auto feathers, you want the auto feather to extinguish on the other engine. That's what we're checking. Alright, bring it back to idle. Auto feather is armed for takeoff. Environmental bleeds. Normal bleed air valves. Environmental bleeds. So they are bleed air open. Let's see. Pressurization controller. We already set that. Cabin pressure. Hold to test. Cabin altimeter VSI. You would check the cabin altitude climb rate. And then we actually, then you would, once you add power. Yeah, so this is all in there. We're going to skip all the environmental bleeds. They do work, though. They do work. All right, flaps not required. Fuel is checked. Flight instruments, avionics, all that stuff. And before takeoff, final items. Cool. So we'll end it there. We're going to just go from memory. How are the sounds? They're okay. They're definitely not Boris from Blacksburg, but they're okay. All right, so let's go ahead and get out of here. Landing light, taxi lights coming on, recogs up, strobes up, windshield anti-ice. We'll put the pilots in normal there, and then we'll go pitos left and right, stall warning on. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5. Hot 5, I think is what we used to call it. 5. Yeah, hot 5 is up. Auto feather's armed. Engine auto ignition is armed. Environmental bleeds. We go environmental off for takeoff. And let's go ahead and get out of here. Tahoe traffic, Gamma 357 departing 36. Brakes released. See what I mean about the views? The default views in X-Plane are just fine. Wow, that is a trippy, what's that, a LET? An LET? I just wish there's no way to get rid of these, huh? These pen and pencils right here. I'm gonna have to lower my view a little bit. But no, you should see a little bit of the nose. I'm gonna leave my view where it is. 7-3 turn on the runway there. Yeah, the LET 410. Yeah, that's what it looked like. All right, so for power set, one thing I have noticed is there is really not a lot of turbine lag on the AirFoillabs, which is really good. These engines are pretty responsive. Unlike some of the PT6 stuff we get in Microsoft, there seems to be a real lag on some of them. But these are pretty good. So let's go ahead and blast off. We're going to keep it in low idle today. We're going to be probably be torque limited on this one. So let's go ahead and set power. Ignition lights out. Props are on the governor. Release the brakes. Auto feathers active. And we're going to temp out actually. Right about 87%. Plenty of runway, plenty of power. Coming through 80, coming through 100 knots. Rotate. Oh, keep your hand on the throttles on a prop. Ooh, big bump in the runway right there. Positive brake. Gear up. Fly with. Why is my left engine smoking? Why is my
traffic for
left engine
69 lining up
smoking?
36.
That's not good. Let me get my little autopilot panel up here. All right, nav is active. And we can lower the nose now out of 7,700 feet. Torques are just fine right about there. Let's go ahead and bring those props back just a hair. What are we IDing on? I don't know which radio's got an ID on it, but... Alright, bring our props back. Let's go 1650. Torque should creep up a little bit, which it is. As you bring the props back, the torque increases. Alright, 1650. Torques and temps. Everything looks good. I'm going to reset my flight director. We'll climb out at about 140 knots, I guess. Let's go ahead and get my pitch mode. Let's go yaw damper engage. Yaw damper engage, and we can go lower the nose a little bit. I'll just make it easier. Blue line climb out maybe in these mountains, but I think we're over the lake now, so we'll be fine. We'll lock it in about 140 in the climb. All right, pitch for 140 is selected. We are nabbing. All right, there's our turn. Now this departure takes us way out, kind of like this teardrop, and then back around. We might end up cutting it short once we get out of, I think it's like 12 or 13,000. We'll redirect ourselves. We're not going to fly the whole departure procedure. The sun is coming up over Tahoe. What a beautiful day. Flyby. Look at that crosswind. Why do I have, it's almost like I have a smoke indication on number 1. Is there a smoke binding? All engine temps, all engine indications are normal. I want to keep this little autopilot panel up. I'm going to shrink it a little bit more though. No. Too many click spots around there. There, I'm going to shrink it, and actually I can hide it over here. It's a bug in their particle system. Oh, great. All right, look, now this is, we got good turbine physics though going on here. Let me turn the sounds down so we can hear myself talk. If it's too loud, let me know. I can keep turning it down. I don't think there's like a headset simulation on this. But as we climb up in altitude, your torque is going to drop. That is accurate to the real engines. So as you begins to drop, you then continue to increase torque, but you have to be careful. You can't just keep running your torque forward because you got to watch your temps. All right, as you climb up, you can either become torque limited or temp limited. And also it depends on who owns the airplane. Do they want to be balls to the wall all the time, power setting wise, or do you want to stay at a nice reduced climb? So oh, bleeds off. Let's go ahead and reduce power. And let's come back down. We never turned our bleeds on. Cabin altitude high. There we go. Maybe did we outclimb it? Let's level here at 15.3 for a sec. Oh, we do have headphone simulation. Nice. Everywhere I go, though, there's a... Let's do this. Let's make my life a little bit easier. Let's go autopilot on. Whoa. Let's just go heading mode for now. Alright, autopilot heading. Let's just lock it in. Altitude hold right here. Yeah, holy tinnitus and did. The autopilot's pretty aggressive. See that? Alright, there she goes. Let's go ahead and get her. Let's turn around now. Let's go direct to spook. We're not going to fly the whole process, so we're going to go direct spook, execute, and now we can nav to spook. We'll make the left turn. What's our cabin doing? Everything's on. Bleed air valves are open. Cabin's coming down. Let's increase the cabin rate of climb. It's coming down 1,500 feet a minute. That's a little too quiet for me, though. That's a pretty shot. The number one's not smoking anymore. That's good. Wow, that is a pretty shot, though. See, there's too many click spots on this screen. Everywhere I click, I feel like I'm clicking a... Uh-oh. And now I screwed up. Now we're gonna have problems. I can't hide my box. X-Plane official. I think they were here. We need to figure out how to hide this box. Because those of us that use force feedback, we don't use the control surfaces in X-Plane. And that box gets in the way. When you don't have a binding, it automatically populates. It'd be cool if we could hide that. If we could hide that control box there. Alright, let's take a look at our cabin. She's coming down. Let's begin a slow climb. We're at a 10,000 feet, so we'd actually go engine auto ignition off, auto feather. We'll leave it on as we climb out over the hills, but I'll enter a slow climb. Alright, 26. Let's go IS and knock it back a little bit. Alright, we're navving to spook, and we are climbing. Cabin is stabilizing. But yeah, that's the one thing I noticed, XP official, is that's one thing for us force feedback folks. Because I tried to hide it. You probably can't see it under my yoke cam. But right here is I hide it down here on the bottom of my screen. But then these pop-up things get in the way. You say for force feedback? Yeah, for force feedback, exactly. So I'm using the Brunner force feedback software. And so, for instance, I don't have a pitch and roll axis bound in the sim, right? So, and then it defaults to have that, like, mouse cam on. But, yeah, all the pitch and roll is done through the Brunner. I believe Moza's different, right, Kato? Yeah, Kato's correct on the Moza. The Moza actually has its own. You do bind the pitch and roll. But, like, for the Brunner, this is done by its own software. Alright, we can go ahead and increase that rate of climb a little bit now. I think we're going to be just fine. We might have just out... Well, no, we had the bleeds. We had the bleeds environmental off. I don't remember where they were. That's alright. Maybe we screwed it up. That's alright. We solved the problem. Alright, one other cool thing though. We'll grab this book out here and we'll go performance, and we can go to, let's see, climb 2 engines, flaps up. We're out of 16,000 feet at 10,000 pounds, 140 knots, 100% or 820 torque and 1700 RPM. So I've got it 1650. Shoot, what was that torque? What was that temp? 820 is max continuous. So we got plenty of juice here. So I'm going to go ahead and increase torque. Now, as we continue to climb, we will eventually torque will be all the way forward on our power levers. So right, I'm almost there. I got a little bit more. Since we own the airplane, let's just, instead of going all the way to 820 ITT, let's just lock it in at 800. Torque's about 63, or yeah, 93 aside. And props, we could move them up a little bit more, but I like 1650. It's a little quieter. Try to sync that prop a little better. My Moza tends to walk just a hair. All right, now look at that climb rate. We're not even doing 140 knots. We're doing 200 knots. All right, there's 18,000 feet. We'll pull for standard. We'll set standard. 29902 is set. Now, out of 18,000 feet, we'll double check here. Everything looks good pressurization-wise. We'll go ahead and get taxi, ice lights, recogs off, landing lights off. We'll leave the hot 5 on. We'll turn the tail flood off. And we'll also turn off the auto feather. We'll get a light on that. Ooh, I thought we normally would get a light on that. Auto feather's off. That's interesting. Pretty sure you should have an auto feather off light down there. Auto feather off. The reason we turn the auto feather off once we're at a safe altitude, whether it's 10,000 feet or depending on your SOP, 18, whatever it may be, if we lose an engine at altitude, what do we have? We have time, right? So we don't necessarily want to feather the engine right away, because we'll be able to, well, hopefully we'll be able to restart it, right? So it's easier to get it relit if it's already windmilling than if it's feathered. If it automatically feathers, then we got to go through the unfeathering process. But out of 8, whatever your SOP dictates. But for us, it was actually 10,000. We used to auto feather off at 10K. Unless you were over, actually, I do think actually coming out of Tahoe, it was 18, if I'm not mistaken. But again, everybody there's a million ways to do the same thing in the King Air series. I do like how the static wicks are moving over here in the wind. Does ITT increase with altitude? Well, right now it's locked in at 800. And we're 100 on the torque, so we're almost all the way. We're almost. Let's see how much more room we got on our power levers. The temp should come down a little bit as we continue to climb up. But torque is dropping as it should. Now we're doing a high-speed climb out. We're doing 200 knots. I mean, technically, with max rate of climb, we'd be back at 140. But X-Plane's showing out this morning. That's a beautiful sight right there. That is a beautiful sight. Just got a little bit of a phasing of the prop. Flying this airplane makes me want to get a... flying this airplane definitely makes me want to get like a hardcore King Air throttle quadrant. Now, how do I zoom this bad boy out here? I'm not familiar with this unit. I've never really used one of these. Radar. There we go. It's at 2 miles. How do I zoom you out? Torque continues to fall off. What was our temp? 100% torque and 820. With ice off. So we keep going. But see, we're gonna temp out. So we're actually gonna temp out today. So I have more torque to go on my power lever here, but we're right at the ITT limit. So we're actually temping out. So the airplane physically could do a little bit more, but we're actually temping out right now. There's definitely not as much texture pop in an X-12, man. That's one thing, it draws it out way out there. I mean, it's crispy. It's definitely crispy. This makes me want to get the Chieftain and do more Chieftain flying, stay super low level. Alright, 24. I'm trying to keep these props in sync, guys, with my, like I said, my Bravo. Just a little bit of prop creep ever so slightly. We'll get the prop sync on once we get to cruise altitude. We're climbing through a couple little wispies here. Potential for icing. Is there visible ice simulation on the AirFoillabs? Let's see. I don't think we're going to pick any up. This is pretty light, but it is X-Plane. X-Plane likes to throw the ice at you. Ask me how I know. Where is our temp in this particular King Air? Right down here. Outside air temp 5 degrees Fahrenheit, minus 15. So definitely potential for ice accumulation. Yeah, just at that AA zippy, exactly. 25 for 26. We might actually drop down, or we could shoot up. We could go, I wanted to stay semi-low. We could shoot up, though, above the clouds. I need to bind. I wonder if these are bindable. You're heading sync and all that stuff. I wonder if those are bindable buttons. Because I could definitely get into flying this airplane more. Maybe even get King Air 350 for jet card. We could do jet card 350s. If I hit the lotto, I'd buy a C90. Best forward speed. You and me both, man. We'll split it. I'd love to get a C90. Now, I did hear that the default C90 is actually pretty good as well. I haven't messed with it, though. So I did hear the default C90 is pretty good in this thing. I was cleaning out my books the other day, some weird artifacting on the wiper there. I found a bunch of pages on the cross-feed trap for the C90. For fuel cross-feed trap, but I don't even remember how that worked. But right now we're pretty close to balance. We did a good job at fueling our own aircraft. Where's the ox tanks? Are 0, so we are 600 is 1,200 pounds. Did we get enough fuel for this flight? I think we need to step up above the clouds. So yeah, we're gonna be right at red line too. Look at that. Look at this. So much power on the 350, man. I love it. I tell you what, let's go up to 30. Let's see if we can get above the clouds. See if we get above it. Let's set 300. Let me get my autopilot panel up. And let's go ahead and go vertical speed up. Ooh, we're getting some cloud turbulence. There you go, Gus. I don't want to pull my power back too much. I just want to get that vertical speed going. Let's go ahead and rip this sucker up here. Chieftain stream sounds like more fun. I do like the idea of doing a Chieftain flight today. Maybe today's X-Plane day. Either Chieftain or more 7.5. We could do 7.5 at night. I gotta get the night mod installed. Somebody told me about the Drischel mod. For a night as well, to get them extended. Oh, here we go. Get ready for a breakout. We need to set our pressurization panel though. We're going to go up to 300. We'll set it 1,000 above. So we should be 8,500 on the cabin. Cabin's climbing. I wonder if my G-loaded camera is what's screwing up that. Let's see. You know what? I think it was that. I think G-loaded camera was messing with the flyby. There we go. Much better. We'll keep that on for a replay. Now the question is, what about shift 2? Shift 4? Yeah, see, every time I do shift 4, I don't know why. This is the only airplane this happens at. I love the shift 4 view, but every time you do shift 4 in the King Air, it's a magnetic switch, brings you back to the tail here. And I can't, see, I'm trying to pan around in my shift 4 view, it won't let me. It won't let me. So I think it has to do with the AirFoillabs custom camera system, which, again, when you have a camera system as good as X-Plane 12, I don't know why you won't mess with it, but... Alright, let's go ahead and see if we can get our torque all the way up. Give us some more juice. Give us some more juice. Ooh, still there. We're at 800, 810. I got just a little bit more to go. Can we make it? Oh, yeah, we can definitely over-temp. Let's not do that. We're almost there. A lot of power. We'll have to dial it back up here at 32 because I think I might have made a rounding error on my math calculation for our fuel. There's 29 for 30. We're still going to be in the clouds. Gosh dang it. What's the highest we can go? Chris PT6, what is the service ceiling of the 350? Can we get to 34? I think we need to get to 34. I'd like to get my radar on and zoom this sucker out a little bit, but I can't. I can't figure out how to zoom this guy out. I've never messed with one of these in real life, so I do apologize. I don't know. There's our nav line. But see, it's at a 2-mile ring. There's surely, it's the intensity. Surely there's a way to make that further out. Try to push on weather turb. Weather turb is on. Oh, what? You have to have weather on to zoom it out? Okay. That's dumb. Alright, there we go. Weather turb is on. Thank you, Gus. Yeah, Chris says we can go to 350. Let's see if we can get above them at 34. Let's go all the way up. Let's go 340 then. So we'll set you at 35, 340, and let's keep climbing. Let's get out of this. Do a little IS hold there. I don't see any ice accumulating, but it makes me nervous. Let's turn the engine anti-ice on. That's going to increase. Oh, look, our temps actually go down. Our torque came down. So now we can run the power all the way up, probably. Man, this thing just keeps going. Okay, there we go. We're finally maxed out. So we're maxed out. Power's all the way forward. 800, that's all she's got now. At a 30,000 feet with the anti-ice on, we're maxed out. But now here's a potential gotcha situation. A very expensive mistake right now that you could make. There's our cabin alarm. Are we out climbing the cabin again? What would that be going on? We're at 10. And we're out off schedule. But no, I was gonna say a very expensive mistake that you could make right here is you max out your ITTs, you put them on the red line, you have your engine anti-ice on, you get out of the clouds, you turn your anti-ice off, guess what happens to your torques? They go up. What happens to your ITT? They go up. Now you just over-temped. Cruise climb is 785. Alright. Yeah, that's what we were just looking at the max climb book here. Let's see, at a 30, yeah. Two engines flaps up. Do we have one with anti-ice on? I'm not sure. 225,000 rebuild, I know, yeah. It looks like the cabin is stabilizing. It's still on, though. We should be... Cabin's at 10.5. Well, that's about right. Hold on, let me... We're only going to 34 though, right? Let's knock it down a little bit. Let's ride the razor edge. There we go. Cabin's coming down. We're right. I accidentally set it a little too high on my let's go ahead and increase rate of climb a little bit more. A little bit more juice. 32 for 34. Hopefully we'll be on top of it at 34. She does keep you busy, Mr. Martini. Props are 1650. Props are 1650. I got them just off the red line. Viking, what's up, man? Thanks for the streams. Cuddled up on the couch with the pups. How do you stay motivated to sim after all the flying you do for work? Well, I haven't flown for work for the last couple days. That's why I'm flying on the sim. I love it, man. I was able to get rid of my 4-day I had this month. So we're taking full advantage of it because today would actually be my first day back from that trip. So we're taking full advantage of it. Yeah, we're not at cruise yet though, Captain Snipes. We're still climbing. And doesn't the 350 have quiet cruise where you can like bring them back to 12 or 1300. I'm pretty sure 350's got a quiet cruise. Or something like that. Let's see, where is alright, cruise. It doesn't actually have it here. I wonder if it has cruise settings. Cruise climb. Max cruise power. Let's see. Detour fuel. We're up here. We're up 35. I don't see any like official prop settings. That's the thing with the King Air, man. There's so many ways you can do it. Everybody flies the King Air different. And there's our landing info right there. All right, 33 for 34. Have you been impressed with X-Plane? I've had a blast revisiting X-Plane on Burnout on Microsoft. I've been burnout on Microsoft myself, man. Well, after Sim Update 6, I feel like the sim looks terrible. It looks like a melty glob console game. That's pretty good flight modeling right there. You see that? So we're barely climbing at, you know, a couple hundred feet a minute. As we enter the turn, what happened to our vertical component of lift? It went down. Our vertical speed went down. Now that we level off, we're climbing again. That's pretty good. That's very realistic behavior. It always looked like that. Helix, not for me, dude. For me, Microsoft and Sim Update 5 looked amazing. Sim Update 5, my sim was crisp. It ran crisp, zero stutters. But I've gotten tired of a lot of the airplanes that are kind of half-baked, you know, except the 707. I love the 707. I love the L10. I love PMDG and Fenix and Just Flight, but I can't just keep flying those three airplanes, right? So I was trying to fly the ATR. ATR is definitely half-baked. The sounds are terrible. You know, we need that Bluebird 7.5 and the PMDG 7.4 to spice it up again. But we're going to do a 707 stream either. I think we're going to do the 707 stream tomorrow. I do like the Max. Sorry, I like the Max. I like the Max, absolutely. And Black Square, I love them. But I feel like we've been having such a good rotation of aircraft that I'm kind of like, man, what else do we fly? We're kind of out. So I wanted to mix it up. And to be honest with you, man, once I discovered the Bing map enhancement here on X-Plane 12, it changed the game for me, man. Because the visuals of X-Plane 12, I'm guilty of this myself. I said, and I've said, that they will never be able to compete visually with Microsoft 2024. Now, while that might have been true for 2020, I think X-Plane 12 is in a state now where that is a very real possibility, and it has to do a lot with the airplane that you're flying as well. Is the airplane that you're flying in X-Plane 12 taking full advantage of everything X-Plane 12 has to offer, right? You know, when we fly the Flight Factor 7.5 built on X-Plane 10, we got to put a ton of mods on it, and you can definitely tell she's tired and dated. But you fly airplanes that are built for the sim. I heard a lot of good things about the Flight Factor 777, the Level Up 7.3 series. Honestly, this King Air is pretty dang, it looks pretty dang good. We just can't get on top of these clouds. We're going to have to just deal with it here at 34. We might drop down to 20. But, all right, we leveled off in cruise. Anyway, what I was saying about the sims, but yeah, that's how I kind of got burnt out. Like, I was kind of burnt out of everything we've been flying, and then I realized X-Plane 12 is actually got a leg to stand on here visually now with the clouds and the lighting. That let's open it up to some airplanes that we don't have in Microsoft 2024. All right, so we've entered cruise, normal cruise power. We are, we're between 12 and 14, right? So we're actually, let's just go to here. Let's go to a conservative number, 35,000 feet between here. Torque per engine 57, 52. We're at 61, so it's actually a little bit better off. Fuel flow, TAS, and TAS. It doesn't give me a torque 57. Oh, engine anti-ice is still on. If engine anti-ice on, torque will decrease approximately 14%. If ice accumulator is present, even larger torque will increase in 14%. Wow. So our engine anti-ice is on. Let's go ahead and bring our props back. Watch our torque values. See how they're creeping up? That's realistic. Let's come back to a nice quiet cruise. We'll set 1500 like Captain Wesley Snipes said initially. And then we might go to a quiet cruise. And we're going to bring our cruise ITTs down. I think it's going to be 785 max cruise climb. So we'll set the ITT about there. We got to keep an eye on our indicated airspeed too. V1 flying in rental car mode. Hey, this is Gamma. It's Gamma Aviation, Gus. It's Gamma Aviation. That's not my King Air. It's not my King Air, Gus. All right, let's try my quiet cruise hypothesis without feathering them here. What is our prop levers doing? We are pretty far back, actually. So maybe not. So 1450 on the prop. But try to balance them out, and then we'll get the prop sync on. Close enough. Prop sync on. Torque's at 58.1. No fasten seatbelt signs off. Cabin light, we don't need that. That's off. Do we need the master panel lights? Nah, we can see. Actually, we'll keep them on. What the heck? It's free. Gus says, thanks for the 48 months of support, Gus. I appreciate you, my man. I'll go to full screen cam here, too, while we're nice and level. He says, now that you listen to me and AJ, you enjoyed. I have, dude. I'll be honest with you. I appreciate your help, too. Both you guys, AJ and Gus, have been big proponents of getting me back in X-Plane 12. And I appreciate it. It does... It is a nice, it's a breath of fresh air. I mean, look at this. Look at this view over here. Like, there's really nothing wrong with this view at all. This is pretty next gen, if you ask me. Now, we do get some anting. Again, X-Plane 12s, if they're aware of that, the aliasing. If they, I'll just say this. This is my whole consensus on X-Plane 12. Comes down to one thing, because I've said a bunch of things like, well, the airplanes have to be good, which they do. You should have map enhancement, which you should. But here's really what it boils down to. If X-Plane 12 can nail the anti-aliasing, look out, because like we have very minimal aliasing issues right now. But every now and then you see them, like you can see them down here, right? You can see a little bit of anting over there. But if X-Plane 12 gets the aliasing fixed, look out. Because everything else, I mean, the lighting is incredible. I mean, look at that. Even, you know, the more I look at clouds at the distance, I know they get a little grainy. And maybe that's part of the aliasing, but honestly, that doesn't even bother me that much anymore, you know? It really doesn't even bother me that much anymore. And I wonder how much that is tied to the aliasing. Like, you know, you can see right here. But Zippy's right. It really depends on the airplane. So it really, really depends on the airplane, too. But absolutely love it. I mean, this is beautiful. This is stunning views up here right now. Thanks for $3. AJ says, V1 in XP, and I'm eating a salad for lunch. Alternate world. That, well, if you can get that US Airways set up, I'll have salad for lunch myself, and we'll do a second X-Plane stream. Or we can do props all day, and I can pick up the Chieftain. Look at that view, man. mean, that looks amazing. $20. Yeah, so Vodka, this airplane, if you owned it in 11, it's a $20 upgrade. I thought it was going to be full price because I added it in the X-Plane work store and it was like 49 or 40, whatever it was. And then once you go to check out, if it's already on your account, it takes $20 off. So I think it's a $20 update. And depending on how the rest of this flight goes, I'm going to need to spend more time. I want to see, I'm pretty sure you can bind a lot of this stuff to the hardware. And the King Air 350, especially single pilot here, like when you sit in the seat, this is very intuitive. Like you just put your hand down here, you rest your hand down there, you're rolling the scroll wheel up and down, you know, your autopilot modes and all that. So it's very intuitive when you're in the seat. In SimWorld, it's kind of hard. I do love this, that you can have your pop-out panels. I love that. Makes it way easier. But to even hit on that more, I'm pretty sure you can bind all this stuff. Or at least some of it. So I'll take more time in getting my settings done properly. And then we can be more fluid of a stream. And then I could have spent 20 minutes in the run-up pad, and we could have gone through the full extensive run-up with the governor checks, the overspeed checks, and all that stuff. And I know they all work, because we used to fly this airplane on 11, and I taught you guys through that stuff. But I wanted to make sure everything was going to go off without a hitch airplane-wise first. And now that I see how it's behaving, we're going to definitely have to do that. We'll do a full-blown reset and full procedures. We can turn the engine anti-ice off now. Watch our temps going up. Our torque increases. Increase in torque. That was the engine anti-ice. Not to be confused with the ice vanes. Which, actually, on the 350... This is going to sound like a really stupid question, but are there ice vanes? I mean, surely. They must just be electric, right? So, does the engine anti-ice actually control the vanes? Because normally in like the other King Airs, you have like your own, like, you know, the ice vane, you pull the vanes open. Okay, so I believe they're all connected to that switch. I gotcha. Okay. Very cool. Yes, engine and ice are the ice vane switches. Ah, very cool. All right. See, we're learning. We're learning 350 stuff. Sweet, sweet. Thank you, man. That is the inert SEP. That's what I was looking for. Inertial SEP. That's the word I was looking for. Thank you, thank you. Just passed your instrument ride at 17, verse 2909. Congratulations, dude. That's the hard one, man. That is awesome, verse 2909. Congratulations, dude. That's awesome, my friend. All right, let me go outside. I mean, I'm going to just sit outside view for a little bit. Let's turn it down. Are you kidding me? Dare I say the lighting is better than 2024? The way, and by lighting I mean the way the lights come through the clouds and hit the terrain in different spots, I don't know. Is this real life, chat? Is this real life? Are we there? Are we there? Is X-Plane 12 lighting better than Microsoft? Oh my goodness me. It's 2 electric motors open on the bottom, the standby on the main. I gotcha. Cool, man. Thank you. Yeah, I'm familiar with the inert SEPs, but I'm used to. I guess I never flew a King and Air big enough to have electrical inert SEPs. Ours were. We had the inertial separator lever. I think it was a lever, right? Oh, here comes the turn. Fly by. Look at that background. Slow-mo flyby. That is sick. Miss V1 is in the house. What's going on? Real life is 107 degrees without AC in your vehicle. Oh, don't remind me. I'm pretending that it was 11 degrees. We took off out of Tahoe. We're flying over California. Miss V1 and I were supposed to actually go to San Jose this week, but she didn't want to go. Yeah, we need to fix Miss V1's air conditioning, man. I thought it was going to be an easy fix with just some, get some new coolant. No, coolant is full. It's actually the compressor clutch is not working. And the problem is when you have so many gremlins like we do, when her car goes down, we can't legally drive anywhere because we have too many bodies. So it needs to be taken into a place that has a loaner car, and we're having a hard time finding a place that has a loaner car. So Miss V1 is the true champion. She's driving around 107-degree heat here in North Texas. And air conditioning only works. It only works under load. At idle, it doesn't work. So you got to just keep driving. Don't stop. Iglufia says, I'm also looking at X-Plane more and more as backup to Microsoft after Microsoft started closing too many studios. I know X-Plane will be around here. Yeah, X-Plane will be around, man. X-Plane will definitely be around. Bigger point, though. This aircraft has the ITT modeled slightly incorrectly. In real life, when you extend the ice vanes, torque decreases, but ITT increases. All right, hold on. So let me think about this first. So if you extend the ice vanes, ITT should increase, right? Is that what you're saying? That's what I think would happen, right? If you extend the ice vanes, you're actually going to lose torque, but you're going to increase temp. Is that not what happens? Let's see. Let me try it again. Let me go engine ice on. Oh, yeah. Torque goes down, but because it's tied. I see what's happening. You're right. So that is backwards. Yes. Yeah, torque should go up with temp. That's what I was saying. That makes more sense. That's your trap. That's your expensive trap, right? So if you're climbing out and you're right at the ITT limit, then you turn the engine and ice on, or you extend the ice vanes, you're going to over temp. Right. So yeah, so that's correct. So this is actually backwards. I imagine, I don't know if that's gosh, I hate to use the word sim limitation. Because we hear that all the time at Microsoft, but I'm assuming what's happening is because the torque is going down, they're having a hard time separating the torque and temp indication. Because yeah, that should increase as you extend the ice vanes, correct? Yes, absolutely. I need to test that out in the black square. Who's in the black square turbine Duke? Who's in the black square turbine Duke? Maybe this week we should just do turbines for the rest of the week. Maybe no more jets. Maybe we'll do Chieftain, we'll do turbine Duke, we'll do turbine Arrow. What if we just do, hit the like button if you want to see turbines for the rest of the week. No more jet engines. Wait, the Thranda PC-12? Chris PT6, you said you wanted to get more add-ons. Get the Thranda PC-12 and tell me if it's worth it or not. If you give it the thumbs up, I'll get it. So Chris PT6, he's our resident Gulfstream girl, right? He flies Gulfstreams, PC-12s. He's the modern day Gulfstream girl. Anyway, if he gets that Thranda PC-12, then I'll listen to you, Gus. I'll buy it, but he has to certify it first. The Metroliner, yes, Retro Wing Sim. I am very much looking forward to the Metroliner. Guys, are we already here? We're already close to our destination. I've been up here chatting Let's go direct Kiki. Actually, yeah, there's no centers online, so let's go direct Kiki. And then, oh, I did that wrong. I did that wrong. Uh-oh. Let's see if we can reload it. Departure, arrival, RNAV 29. I'm surprised you can't take it off of PRB. Hold on. We might do a hold up here for fun. I don't want the stream to end. Are we already here? We've just been talking. I've been having so much fun looking at the graphics. I can't believe I'm saying this. I've been looking at the graphics so much in XP12 I haven't even been paying attention to where we are. Alright, RNAV 29 into San Luis Obispo. Yeah, there's really no other transition. Let's take it off of Kiki. Let's see if I can reload that. And then we'll do this. We'll go... Oh, I should. Maybe it just doesn't show the line there. It sequenced the box. Why did it do that? K-I-K-I-I. Maybe there's two ways to skin him. There we go. P-pause Kiki. There we go. Look at that. P-pause to Kiki. Chat, we're 62 miles from Kiki. Kiki's supposed to be at let's call it 6,000. Oh my gosh, we got to start down. 28, 246. Oh my goodness, chat, we already got to start down. Why did this go by so fast? Let's set 10,000 feet. Let's see if we can really trip out the pressurization now. All right, I'm going to do an IAS hold at 180. We're not going to do a V. I think we actually have VNAV in this too, right, Chris? Power's coming back. We're IAS hold. That's coming down. We're going to set landing elevation, which is basically sea level. I'll set, yeah, we'll set 0. That's fine. Power's coming back. Because King Air PT6 zoom, it does. Turkaren, what's up, man? Help for your car fix broke, baby. Turkaren, dude, I saw you actually say something positive. I heard you say something positive about X-Plane 12, which is the world is being turned upside down. Turkaren is commenting X-Plane 12. AJ's eating a salad, and I'm flying props in X-Plane 12. What has happened? The world is on its head. I kind of want to fly the Chieftain, but I kind of want to fly this again. The thing is, I need to spend an hour or so just binding controls on this thing. Should we do a King Air group flight? You guys want to do a, I could set up IVEO. I don't know if my IVEO works on X-Plane 12, though. We could do a prop group flight later. But those orthos, look at them, man. So the reason I chose this route to come over towards the coastline is, if you remember from yesterday's stream, now we're way higher. We flew up the coastline in the Commander in Microsoft yesterday. And I can just tell you right now, the orthos look better in X-Plane 12 now. With whatever happened with Sim Update 6, the orthos look way crisper in X-Plane 12 on XBME. So, I don't know what's happening. King Air group flight. Say Intentions Skynet works in X-Plane. We could use Say Intentions in X, but I don't believe it has the traffic though, right? We could keep IVEO Premium. I'm on IVEO Premium right now, Kato. I'm on IVEO Premium right now. We need to bring the power back though. We need to start coming down. Captain Wesley Snipes, did you say that you could leave the prop sync on all phases of flight in the 350? So I only flew, there was one aircraft in our fleet that had the prop sync. Actually, there were two. And it was always busted and they said you could only use it in cruise, but it was always getting busted because guys would leave it on, then they would pull the power back in the descent, and they would forget that the prop sync was on. So my only experience with prop sync was very rudimentary, and it didn't even really work that good, to be honest with you. And we never wrote it up because we figured maintenance was just going to disable it completely. Okay, so there's no AI. Okay, so we won't do say intentions then, but we could use IVEO Premium then. Microsoft had to dial back the zoom level of their ortho to save bandwidth money. Wait, XP's in the house. What's up, my man? Dude, for XP, is that true? Are you being serious, my man? Then that's it. XP72. I'm changing my name to XP12 Simulations to be like XP. And I think XP72 should change his name back to XP12 Official. Because look at this, dude. I'm back, dude. I'm back in X-Plane. This is it, man. Look at this. I am so back. X-Plane 12 is so back. Captain, this nice is a firm. Okay, Type 1 has a toggle switch that you have to turn on or off for takeoff and landing and RPM change. This is Type 2. If it has a button, you can just leave it on from taxi to wow. Okay, Captain Wesley Snipes. That's awesome, dude. Okay, so, see? We can leave this on takeoff to touchdown, even. Sweet. We'll leave it on. Yeah, so the one I had was a switch. I want to say it was like up here somewhere. Maybe here. It's like it seemed like it was a half-ass switch. You know, it's like almost like they forgot where to put it. Maybe it was down here, but it was definitely a toggle switch. And then all the 99s I flew, none of them had prop sync. We were just straight, you know, deal with it yourself. All right, see, we're learning 350 things. I love it, man. I love it. This is Nerdbark. This is This is the map enhancement mod, but this is the free map enhancement mod, not the premium. There's a premium version, but this is the free version, and this is Bing Ortho. I'm using Bing. I was using Google Maps, but I think Bing is far superior. Which, ironically, Bing is what Microsoft uses. Gosh, the King Air is beautiful. I'm hooked. I'm hooked, y'all. Maybe we should do a second leg. What time is it? It's only 12:30. Let's see, we're 30 miles out from Kiki. We're supposed to be, so 25. Oh, man, jeez. Come all the way back. I'm hooked. Now, Captain Wesley Snipes. Oh, what's your actual name? I just heard Snipes, and I think Wesley Snipes. Captain Taylor Snipes. Oh, okay, Taylor Snipes. For the 350 for landing, you have this airplane, I'm assuming. Do you find it that it's kind of like you need a lot more nose up? I feel like I have to have a lot of nose up trim to flare it, or else it'll just kind of run out of aileron, or excuse me, run out of elevator. What do you think about the flight model when it comes to landing? I might just have to adjust my technique, but I only did one or two practice landings, and then both of them I kind of ran out of elevator. Got a little bit too slow, maybe. Chris PT6 dropping the 10 gifted subs. My man, Chris PT6, thank you, dude, for supporting the channel and giving back to the community here, man. Thank you so much, Chris. I appreciate you, brother. Hey, when you come out, Korean barbecue's on me. Korean barbecue's on me. You got to get out here to Denton, my man. Denton or GLE. Come to GLE because you weren't that far off, but you were further east. You were over there towards Texoma, but I got the spot, man. I got the spot. Korean barbecue on me. Chris PT6 got the Gulfstream Captain money. Yeah, buddy. Wesley Snipes is a better Captain nickname. That's true. I like it. I think I might just continue to call Captain Taylor Snipes Wesley Snipes. It definitely seems like you run out of elevator. Also, it seems like you need to approach at 110, whereas 100 is perfect in the real aircraft. Okay, perfect. That's exactly what I needed to know. Because that's kind of, I was coming in at 100, and I was running out of elevator, and I couldn't think if maybe it was a Brunner force feedback thing or something on my end. But okay, we will adapt our procedure then. We'll come in a little bit faster, about 110 knots. That seems like we'll have a little bit more juice for the flare from a real 350 pilot. Thank you guys for those, and Hendo, thank you. Hendo says the real 350, you trim the flare. That's interesting because I have videos of me flying the 200 actually, and even in the 99 more so. I would hear the beep trim, the beep 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 going off in the flare. So I guess I was also trimming during the flare, even in the 99s. So that makes sense. I love it. It's an airspeed with ground effect modeling thing. Okay. Flight to Live. I saw that update for the 7.6. Now, that was in Discord, though. Is that officially out? Is that can I update my 7.6 from Flight Factor, and is that how it is, or is that was that a preview? Because that looked really good, and I'm not too opposed to, you know, maybe doing a little 7.6 flying too. But we're going through 18. I just wasn't sure if that was a preview or the actual update is out now. 29 or 9 or 8 is set on the altimeter on the primary one, and I don't believe they're synced. Oh, they are synced up. Good. 29 or 9 or 8 is synced. We're coming through 18,000 feet. No smoking. Passing seatbelt sign will come back on. We'll get the. Well, let's see what they call for in the checklist here. Descent transition. All right, that is set. All right, fuel balance checked. We're a little out of balance, but we're fine. So there we go. Yeah, auto feather arm out of 18. So they do it at 18. Auto feather arm. Ice protection is not required. Window defog not required. Defrost not required. Destination checked. Approach checked. Cabin signs on. Exterior lights. Altimeters. All right, so we'll leave the ignition off. When do we get the engine auto ignition? Do they fly with those around the whole time? Maybe it's on before landing. Did I miss it? Surely they turn on the auto ignition. Descent. Chris PT6, when do you turn on your auto ignition? I would tie it to my auto feather. So auto feather's on, auto ignition's coming on. Or armed, rather. 105 is min VREF, 115 is the min V app. Alright, good to know, good to know. Auto is always on. Oh, really, Chris? Okay, so he keeps his always on. Chris, are you downloading the Threenda PC12 yet? Am I going crazy, or do I actually feel a little bit of fuel imbalance going on here? So right main is heavier. That would balance 50 pounds. How would let's go cross feed right. Oh no, I did it backwards. See if we can push a little fuel over there. Someone remind me in like 10 minutes. Or not like in 1 minute. I think we're over our destination. Just about. We're getting real close. We're about to hit Kiki. Auto ignition is only needed in conditions to an engine flame out exists, heavy rain, snow. True. Well, that's when it's needed, but it's... I'm just wondering if you guys have different procedures. So, like, on some of the ones that I flew, some of the the 99s and the 200 and the 90, they didn't have auto ignition. It was just ignition. So you would actually use, when you turn the ignition switches on, they came on. Like when you took the runway, they came on. I believe we had them on until 10,000, if I remember. I got to find all my old stuff. But the fancier airplanes have the auto ignition, where they're auto ignition on, but they will only actually come on until the N1 is below, or excuse me, the torque is below 17%. I guess I don't think we'll hurt anything by tying the auto ignition to our. Actually, we should keep it always on, because even if you turn the auto feather off above 10 or 18, then if the engine rolls back, you want the ignition to kick on. So yeah, auto ignition is staying on all the time now. That's confirmed. Because it's auto. All right, Chris PT6 is getting the, he's getting his airplane, he's getting the Thranda PC-12 loaded up. All right, heading sync. We should be 10 for 6. We'll get the rest of the lights on. We don't need the ice light. We'll go recog. Tail flood can stay off because it's our airplane. Fasten seatbelts. That's armed. Let's go ahead and close up our crossfeed. Did we move any? Not really. I may not have done that right. I may have had to use the transfer override. I gotta look at that again. Nope, no PTT, or actually, yeah, we'll do the PTT at Kadar. We'll do it in heading mode. Oh, wow. I forgot the power was at idle. All right, 6,000. Yeah, I need to bind my auto panels here. $6,000 a set. Down we go. I don't. Did it actually draw it out? It actually drew it out. Let's do the procedure turn. San Luis Obispo traffic, Gamma 357 type King Air 350. We're at 10,000 feet. We're doing a full procedure Kiki inbound for the RNAV 29 with the procedure turn at Kadar, San Luis Obispo. And actually, there is a is there a CTAF freak here? For nothing. Paul Cornett, welcome to Commercial Pilot, my man. Glad to have you on board. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. One of us. I appreciate you. Fuel panel's good. Yeah, I tried to move some fuel, but we just don't have enough time. It's only like 50 pounds. We'll be all right. Thank you, Paul, for joining the channel, man. Becoming a member. I appreciate you. Technically, crossfeed is only approved for single-engine ops, prohibited for transferring fuel. Really? Really? Is that a 350 thing specifically? Because I remember moving fuel. I was saying this earlier on stream. There was something with the 90 about crossfeed trap fuel. Something like, there was like, you had to be careful. And then in the Beech 99s, we moved fuel every now and then. It wasn't prohibited. So is that do you think that's oh, it's prohibited, so you've never done it. Okay, so maybe that's is that a 350 thing? Specifically? So we just got to be more careful when we fuel up next time, that we're a little bit more on the balance. All right, 8-3. Technically, we could stay and do the procedure turn. Oh yeah, we can go all the way down to 4. Let's keep coming down. The 90 auto crossflow and give you master warning, but then go away and you won't even know it's happening. Yes, that sounds familiar. Yeah, I want to bind that. I'm going to have to bind my autopilot controls. That will make this way easier. $200, $350 can't do it unless single engine. Once you've flown a King Air, you've flown one King Air. True. It's like the Falcon 50. All right, here comes our turn. We should make a, let's see what kind of procedure turn she's going to draw. We're doing a direct here. $3,900. Which way are you going to turn now? Be ready to take over in heading mode. I'm just kind of curious what kind of, if it'll, I've never flown into a hole with this avionics. Let's see what happens here. Probably do a teardrop. Would appear so. Would appear so. 1,000 to go. Main Global Forest can help with the look of trees. Is that another mod I need to get? Main Global Forests? We'll keep her there right about 160 knots there for the... let's do 140 for the approach. Is it going to turn back, or yeah, it is. It's doing a teardrop all by herself. It'd be awesome if I could put this on a iPad. You know, that little pop-out panel. All right, 3,900 in the turn, CATAB inbound. We'll then continue to descend to, we'll set 900. Shift S for sunglasses. Yeah, I know I got a little fast there. We'll come back. Oh, she's joining the course inbound. What do we got? Inbound course, Halda. Yeah, we're looking good. Approach is armed. Experience like a bad case of herpes. Flight SMC, my man. You must like herpes then. Check my sunglasses off here. I need a bigger throttle quadrant because the King Air Quadrant has got that real nice long travel of the power levers. On the Bravo, you move it just an inch and you move it way over correcting on the power. Alright, had the inbound. Had those at 3.9.
San Luis traffic, crew track 69 at 85 over Kiki, setting up for the RNAV runway 29, full procedure turn.
Santa Barbara traffic, Gamma 357, King Air 350. We had the inbound RNAV to Santa Barbara. ProDestin King Air Quadrant is the way. Does it have functioning levers? Let's see, because I've got an old. I don't remember what. I think this is like an old Airbus set I had. We're in the white arc. Let's go to flaps 10. Maybe that'll help us lock it in here at 140. Had those had her above 2,900 feet. We're looking good. Oh, I'm not transmitting. Is that the gear lever? There's no way to silence that? That's annoying. Runway's in sight. I can hear you. Yeah, it's because I had to reboot my mic. It's alright, there's nobody on free. I'll reset it for the next one. Alright, flaps are coming up. Yeah, but I can't press it though, right? I tried pressing that earlier, Gus. Is that... Maybe there's a binding for it, because it just pulls my gear. It just pulls the gear down. There might be a binding for it. Like I said, I need to spend about an hour just binding stuff in this airplane. All right, let's see. Runway's in sight. Autopilot's off. Altitude alert, we're visual, we'll set missed approach altitude. Oh, scroll knob, go. Oh, brother, there used to be a mod for that where you could stop that zoom thing. Alright, coming down. Yeah, ants on the ground on those trees, I see them, yep, ants on the ground. It's actually, it looks worse on my stream replay, that's interesting. I wonder if you guys are seeing that or not. Like, if you're seeing ants over here, I'm not. That's an OBS thing. I am seeing some anting right here in front of me. But I'm not seeing any ants off the left window. I wonder if that's a monitor thing. Alright, let's go ahead and flaps are coming in. We're doing to 115-ish. Alright, flaps are down, lights are set, everything's good. We're ready. Just say it's reflections of the leaves blowing. Yeah, that's it. We're flying into the evening. Almond groves. Thank you for that, Flavio C. Can't read it. Says go to hangar control. Make control mapping super easy. Hangar control, huh? Thank you, man. Appreciate the super chat. She flies gonna approach. I'm gonna try to stay a little bit faster. Get a little bit of trim in there so I don't run out of aileron. Let's see. We're going to fly her down. Oh, yaw damp's still on. Shoot, yaw damp's still on. Too late now. Yaw damp's off. That felt really good. That felt really good. I need to be able to bind, is it possible to bind the beta left and right? That would be epic. Right now I can only bind them at the same time. Alright, let's go ahead and get those off. Recogs off, strobes off. Somebody in a helicopter up there. Flaps are coming up. Radar's coming off. Turn those off. It's nice. Let's go ahead and get the bleeds off. That's why I like Protest Sim. You can get the correct levers with correct detents. Really? It'd be worth a look. We'll go park it at the base of the tower. I imagine the... Wait, is someone driving a ground vehicle? Is that our vehicle? I think that's our vehicle. Is that our crew car that we ordered? Atlantic Gamma 357. Gamma 357, go for Atlantic. Hey, did you get our crew car? Sorry, we're actually out of all mid-sized crew cars. You guys want one of those PT Cruisers? I actually think the FBO is over there. Parked here. Alright, park brake is set. Alright, brakes are set. Avionics power is coming off. Power levers seem to be in idle, forward, and cut off. Coming through 40 feather. Oh, I forgot to turn the auto feather or the auto sync off. I hope I didn't screw that up. Inverters. Generators. Taxi light. We'll leave the nav on. Beacon can come off. Put you back in low. I think we're all secure. Let's go ahead, crash bar down. And let's get out of here. Oh, the sync can stay on? Alright, good, because I left it on for shutdown. Alright. Let's see if I can find my way out of here. I can't. I don't understand. Why can't I? I don't understand. I want to walk out of here. It's great in theory, but the execution. There we go. You gotta come out there with the camera. Hey, look, Rescue 1 is here. What's up, Rescue 1? Hand place our truck. Whoa! My goodness. Well, if we're gonna get hit by a government bus, California's way good. But that's a fuel truck. I don't know. Can I put the chalk? Can I have chalk wheel up here? No. I'll chalk that side. Put the bra straps on. Although they're probably piping hot. It'd be cool if you did that and it like melted. We'll leave the plugs off. We'll keep that for now, maybe for a flight later this afternoon. Crew transport is here? Yep, crew transport is here. Yeah, I have Agent Johnson. I have it on a binding. I don't know if is there a way to just do it on axis? Maybe that's what I need to figure out. I have it on a binding. I wish, because even when I didn't bind it though, the axis of the honeycomb, let me show you. If I can find my way back into the cockpit here. That's the range of my axis right there. I can't go any further. Is there potentially an axis situation, like a response curve? No, they're all... Well, they're all linear, right? Why are they cumulative roll? Let's clear that out. I want you straight linear on throttles. And I want you straight linear. Delete all that. But yeah, see, I don't know. I wish I could go more. I can't. So I have to click. Well, it doesn't work. Change normal throttle? What does that mean? What do you mean normal throttle? Oh. 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 But now I gotta set... Now I gotta actually set the binding, right? Okay. Okay. I'll do this off stream. Okay. 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 We're gonna do another King... Should we do another King Air flight, or do you guys want to see the Chieftain later? King Air or Chieftain. We'll do another GA stream this afternoon. I'm gonna mess with those bindings. That'll definitely take... that'll definitely help us out. I'll get the bindings all set up. But, man, we need more liveries. I used to have the King Air 200 Alpha Fox livery set up on this. Make a poll. I'm going to put the poll up for the replay. So we're gonna stay on X-Plane today. You guys vote for the next aircraft. Piper Chieftain, King Air 350, or Flight Factor 757. All right, poll is up. Let's watch the replay. Been an honor flying with you, gentlemen. I'm going to disconnect from the Aveo Premium Network. All right, X-Plane Official, thank you for stopping by. I appreciate you hanging out with us in the chat. I really appreciate you hanging out with us and answering questions, and it's really cool. I love what you guys are doing with X-Plane 12. I really truly do. I think you guys got something special going here, and I look forward to see where X-Plane continues to develop to, because for a while, I'll be honest, for a while there it was looking a little bleak. It was looking a little bleak. You know, Microsoft was taking off, but I firmly believe now X-Plane 12 is... Microsoft's going to have some competition here, especially graphically. So thank you so much for hanging out with us, X-Plane Official. Let's go ahead and fire the replay off. Now, this, I got to probably Let's get the chocks. Let's close the door. I don't know what's going to happen to our replay when we wind it back. Let's just see what happens. We might have propeller bras on and everything. Yeah. And we just smoked the engines, right? Let's fix that. The gauges were going nuts. Alright, hold on. Back out here. Walk command. And we gotta pull the propeller bra off. We got that one. We gotta walk back around. Dolly Parton just died? For real? Oh my gosh, man. Rest in peace, Dolly. That's sad. That is sad. Rest in peace for Dolly. Alright. Maybe we should do a flight out of Dallas for Cowboys. Dolly Parton. Alright. Let's try replay again. Replay mode, activate. And play. Those are on. Hopefully replay doesn't damage it. Let's see what happens. 80 years old, man? That's, well, good on her for making it to 80 years old, right? None of us are getting out of this world alive, my friends. Wow, look at the pull for the Chieftain. Okay, I don't like that pull. Alright. Really? You guys want to see the Chieftain over both of those? Okay, what if... Okay, new pull. Okay, what if I did... Chieftain versus King Air? I'm not saying... Because I feel like a lot of people... You know, we saw the 7.5. If I was just committed to staying to props today... If I was committed to staying to props, PA31 versus King Air 350. I hear you for the flight factor 7.5. I'm not discounting that, but I just want to see compared to the two props. I'll revote. The poll's open in chat. That'll be for our later stream today, most likely. I mean, on final, that looks pretty good right there. Look at that. That is. Could you imagine if this had a Boris AudioWorks sound pack? I mean, the flyby is still pretty good. A little bit of a chunker. I still flared a little high. Flared a little high still, I think. A little bit of a 7.3 flare. A little bit of an Airbus flare. Keep driving it down. Yeah, see, I'm flaring a little too early. Set it pulls until it gets what he wants. Wow, 69% of you want to say the Piper Chieftain. Wow. Alright, well, we might just do that then. We might just do that. Alright, until then, let's wind back the replay. Let's get sail going. I'm going to let you guys enjoy this approach into San Luis Obispo. I gotta just stop flying here because I cannot get them straight in my head. It's SBP and SPB, right? Are the two ICAOs? I keep confusing them. All right. Yeah, so right here, yeah, I do see the antis out there. When you zoom in on it, they go away. Yeah, I don't know. I almost feel like, too, I feel like XP12 might thrive on NVIDIA graphics card. I am using an AMD card, but I still think that's a common problem, is those antis. But if we do fly the Chieftain tonight, what we'll do is we will fly from Reading. We'll fly my old freight route. We'll go from Reading all the way down to Hayward with a stop in SAC, Sacramento Executive. And we will be on Iveo Premium if you want to fly along. So we're going to load up at Reading, KRDD. We're going to fly down Reading, SAC to Hayward, which is just south of Oakland International Airport. I don't know when I'll stream that. I might throw it on here around 3 o'clock my time, so about another 2 hours or so. So keep your notifications on. I got to go buy that airplane. I have to set it up and bind it and refresh myself how to fly it. But we might be on XP12 for the rest of the week because we got some seriously cool stuff happening here, lighting-wise. And I'm loving it. I'm loving it. So thank you all for staying around. Also, please do me a favor. Let's get XP12 back in the algorithm. Let's hit the like button for me before you click off this video. You guys are awesome. I can't wait to see you on the next stream. If I don't see you on the next one, hopefully I'll see you later this week. Stay safe, stay healthy. I'm V1. Catch you on the next one. Soup!